an IWI Academy instructor, as someone that shoots the Tavor as their kind of primary rifle system, I get asked very, very often which can to get for my Tavor, which can to get for my bullpup type rifle. And the bullpup poses kind of two unique issues for us, specifically the X95. One, that ejection port being right by our face, and then two, being a long stroke and extremely overgas system. We want a can that's not going to blow all that gas in our face, and it's going to reduce the pressure of the system, and we're not going to have to get a whole bunch of modification to get that gun to run. There's very, very few cans that can do that, and the CGS Helios QD can so far has performed very, very well. So let's dig into that can. So let's see what the CGS Helios is all about, okay? It's a rifle can. It's actually optimized for 5.56, but it's cut out or drilled out for 7.62, which is very unique. The reason for it is all about reducing the back pressure as well as lowering the noise. So the CGS Helios comes in this nice hard case, all right? It comes with two end caps. One is the vented end cap, which is ideal for having less issues in your gun, less blowback, less back pressure. And it comes with a closed end cap, which is all about reducing the noise, both at the muzzle end and at the ear. It also comes with direct thread adapters, which you can actually also use as QD setups, and I'll come back to that here in a second. So it comes with a 1/2x28 for 5.56 and 5/8x24 for our 7.62 platform or 308 platforms. Now the cool thing about it, it kind of already has a flash hider end to it or attachment to it, where you can essentially, if you want to run this can as a QD from what it comes out of the box, you don't want to buy any extra stuff, you can basically rock set this to your muzzle, keep it kind of loose on the threads, and then just thread your suppressor, and you can buy extras and have it in between your guns. So neat little setup, not ideal, but definitely an option to have, okay? Another thing that the can comes with, and this is something that I think is very, very unique to this specific can, which is a vented end cap, which will kind of reduce back pressure in the gun, work very, very well on the Tavor, as well as coming with a closed end cap, which just has the space for the bullet to pass through. Now this will reduce, obviously, sound more than the vented end cap, but it will definitely increase the pressure a little bit on that can. The overall length of the suppressor is 7.2 inches, but once it's mounted, accounting for the difference in the thread size of the muzzle, it's around 6.58 inches, adding to the length of the gun. So the suppressor itself, kind of hollowed out without any mount, is around 16 ounces. And then when you add the mount and the flash hider end cap, whether it's vented or not, it's around 19 ounces. So not super light, but not super heavy for a 7.62 suppressor. The CGS Helios QD is made with 718 DMLS Inconel. It's actually 3D printed. So the whole core of the suppressor, just super durably made. Our mounts and our end caps are 17.4 stainless steel. The outside of the suppressor is DLC finish. Inside of the suppressor is coated with S-line, which is basically a boron nitride finish to help prevent all the carbon buildup inside the suppressor. Contrary to popular belief, you do need to clean your suppressors here and there. So what's unique about the CGS Helios versus basically any other baffle suppressor? It basically has a flow bypass technology where when that round is fired and those gases start traveling through the suppressor, right at the start of the suppressor, some of the gases are redirected, right? And you have kind of a stack of heavier duty baffles in the beginning of it. And then once again, there's another bypass on the sides in the middle of the suppressor. And then if you choose to use the vented end cap, they'll flow right through the end of the suppressor here. So you can see right there at the end. And the whole point of this is to reduce the pressure in the suppressor, as well as reduce the noise at the muzzle end, as well as at the ear. Both end caps come with a flash hider in them, as well as wrench flats to take them out. And you can use a socket wrench, or just a crescent wrench to simply unscrew that end cap, and it's pretty easy to do once it comes off. Now the nice thing is, let's say it's really tight on there, and they do have a little bit of a taper to make it a little bit easier, but let's say it's really tight on there, you have wrench flats on the actual suppressor itself, so you can either put it in a vise or wrench and then socket and then unscrew that end cap off of there pretty easily, which is always nice when they make things really, really easy and you don't need specialized tools. Now, they're both flash hider end caps, and I was actually phenomenally surprised how well they hid the flash. I mean, it was just phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a can hide flash as well as these, especially on the vented one where you would think there was going to be a lot of flash from those vents. There was really none that we can detect, both on the first round and follow-up rounds as well. I mean, it was just phenomenal. All right guys, so we just finished our filming, our running of the CGS Helios on the X95, on the IWI X95, and here's our thoughts. So overall, the suppressor performed incredibly well. One thing is no real noticeable difference in recoil impulse. The ejection port and the ejection pattern stayed true 5 o'clock the entire time. Different ammo that I mixed in there, Fiocchi, Federal, and everything stays about the same. In terms of sound, phenomenal sound, especially on the 5.56, which is hard to suppress and hard to really be hearing safe. I mean, obviously we didn't shoot subsonic ammo, but the noise reduction was very, very noticeable in the CGS Helios. Flash suppression was also good, okay? Actually really, really good, not just good, really, really good sound and flash suppression. And that's it, that's the can. Now on the downside, this can is incredibly expensive. $1,500 around their MSRP. That's a lot of money, not including that tax stamp, not including those QD mounts that you want to get from a different company. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny for potentially a slight improvement in performance. So guys, CGS Helios, that's a wrap.